nasi unazipinga pinga, utaki kuniona nina shida.
Hello everyone, we are about to get started. I want to welcome you to the Connecticut Historical Society. I think many of you might be here for the first time, which is quite wonderful. The Connecticut Historical Society mission is connecting you and the story of Connecticut. So tonight's presentation fits right in with our goal of hearing from everyone, including voices who have so much to teach us, but may not be often heard. My name is Lynn Williamson. I'm the director of the Connecticut Cultural Heritage Arts Program here at CHS. And along with my project partners, George Annette Kingsley from the Asylum Hill Neighborhood Association and Jennifer Cassidy from the ANA Welcoming Committee, we have brought together speakers, artists, and performers who have recently come to Connecticut from distant places. Their stories can inspire us and cause us to think in new ways. We are excited to present to you musicians and dancers who you may not have had the chance to see or hear before. And we've also brought in artists whose beautiful crafts are a testament to their creativity. I also hope, and I think I saw lots of people doing this, I hope you had a chance to taste the delicious food prepared by Adiba, who is a master chef from Syria who's only been in the country for 14 months. The biographies of all of these participants are in the program brochure. I really want to thank my partners in this project, Jennifer Cassidy and George Annette Kingsley. Also, deep thanks are due to our funders, the Greater Hartford Arts Council through their United Arts campaign with major funding from the Hartford Foundation for Public Giving, also the National Endowment for the Arts, and the Connecticut Office of the Arts. Deep thanks to them and also to George and Jennifer, without whom this could not be taking place. So please note, you may have seen the sign when you walked in at the front table. The event is being taped for broadcast by Hartford Public Access Television. And by staying with us in the room, you give your consent to be filmed. I hope that that's okay with all of you. Also, this is a strange request, but I think you might understand this. Please don't put your cups and plates on the chairs because these chairs are very slippery. And we find that we have a lot of things that end up on the floor. So I do apologize for that. Don't stop eating, just hold it in your hand, okay? So now I'm going to turn the evening over to our distinguished MC, Mr. George Annette Kingsley, who is an artist, performer, teacher, activist, and cultural leader. George.
This night is going to be a night of show, a night of display, a night of learning, a night of culture. People coming from somewhere else, they are coming with their knowledge, they are coming with their culture, they are coming with something different to show to you, to give to you this night. So you are going to enjoy from music to speaking people. We start by one person, Gentle Boy, from RDC Congo, a big country in Southeast Africa, a country with a lot of diamond, gold, cobalt, and oil. Wonderful. It's a country also of war. This war situation led many of these people, many of these children, to get out of the country, to be refugees in one other country. Some of them came to US here. So we are going to present one of them, Gentle Boy.
That's my
baby yeah. Umenichanganya changanya mpaka umenimaliza my baby boo. Umenichanganya changanya mpaka umenimaliza baby yeah. Umenichanganya changanya wengine naona giza naona giza naona giza naona giza wengine naona giza. Ukinipasana nasemaga doze, elemende yako tamu kote kote, tupendane sana kifo kitukute. Mimi nawe unanifanya mpaka mimi sikuchoke, kwani dini gani sema niokoke, unataka wapi sema twende wote. Mimi nawe mwenzako niko razi, chochote kile nitakupa ili mapaparazi wasijaribu kukugusa kupanda ndiye kazi, kushuka rahisi kabisa nifanye kija kazi, wapenzi lako limefika unaendana na mimi kama ngome viti mwilini, mimi nitameza kwinini ukiacha misafari baby. Umenichanganya changanya mpaka umenimaliza baby yeah. Umenichanganya changanya wengine naona giza my baby boo. Umenichanganya changanya mpaka umenimaliza baby boo. Umenichanganya changanya wengine naona giza naona giza naona giza naona giza wengine naona giza. Uzuri yako inamulika mulika kwenye giza, mwanga kimuli muli. Uzuri wako wengi unawadatisha, wanagonga mwanga wafungi goli. Najiona mimi nikikutazama usoni, sasa kioo cha nini, unatosha kuwa ndani, wengine napiga chini. Namba yako moja mami, peteva kidoleni, ndo watufunge mwakani. Aye mwenzako niko razi, chochote mimi nitakupa we, ili mapaparazi wasijaribu kukugusa kupanda ndiye kazi, kushuka rahisi kabisa we, nifanye kija kazi, wapenzi lako limefika unaendana na mimi kama ngome viti mwilini, mimi nitameza kwinini ukiacha misafalini baby. Umenichanganya changanya mpaka umenimaliza baby yeah. Umenichanganya changanya wengine naona giza umenichanganya changanya mpaka umenimaliza baby boo. Umenichanganya changanya wengine naona giza naona giza naona giza naona giza wengine naona giza. Ukitoka kula kuku kula matembele, mboga za majani zinapatikana gale. Ukitoka kula matembele, mboga za majani zinapatikana pia huku Ulaya, mboga za majani zinapatikana pia huku. Uniondole, 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 uniondole mama. Zile tabu zangu kwa sasa unazipinga pinga, utaki kuniona nina shida. Moyo wangu kwa sasa unazichoma uchoma, utaki kuniona nimevida. Basi punguza ngebe, kama midoli nilete, penzi lako la pekee usikinai mama. Ninachokupendea wewe mgumu kama nazi, acha wachonge paparazzi, wendo unanimaliza marazi. Uniondole mama hata shida zangu, o masikini tetere. Uniondole mama, uniondole, uniondole mama. Sina lengo kutaka kukuchezea, ongeza manjonjo nijirambe kwa kunogewa, usinifanye wanicheke jamani, penzi lako lishushe samani. mimi wako wewe wangu weani, basi nikutambulishe kwa mami, uniondole mama, uniondole mama, umasikini tetere, uniondole mama, uniondole, uniondole. Vile Vicenti mwenzako sina, napigika jana shinda, sitojali ni wangapi walokuona, bila shaka kombe hili nimeshinda. Ay, isiwe leo tomorrow nikakukuta vichochoro, jua utanipa kero, usinyacheka kiporo, peke yangu ni kadoro, ukasepana masha, utaniua. Zile shida zangu mama, ukizirudisha utaniuguza uwe, utaniuguza mi, mapenzi ni shida. Ai, usinifanye wanicheke jamani, penzi langu lishushe samani, mimi wako wewe wangu weani, basi nikutambulishe kwa mami, uniondole mama, uniondole mama, umasikini tetere, uniondole mama, uniondole, uniondole.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And as you say, they came to US here with their culture. They were in the refugee camp. The only thing they can do to get out of that environment is to create. And they create their own music, and they put their melody, and they enjoy themselves there. Also, being here, they use it as a way to voice out what they feel. Now, we are starting with talking. The first person who's coming to our podium here, Shaku So. She's from Burma, a country with a lot of temple, waterfalls, and rice plantation. Please welcome Sasso.
Thank you. A couple years ago, I reunited with my childhood friend via Facebook Messenger. We talked over an hour, but it didn't feel long because we have not heard from each other for so many years, and that's because I had moved to America and she was still in Burma. Through our conversation, I learned that she attended college for a year, but she had to stop because of the lack of financial support. And this friend of mine, who is a very intelligent woman, struggles to obtain higher education simply because she does not have enough money. I was very sad for her and I wanted to help, but I didn't have the resources to do so. And after that phone call, I was wondering how different my life would be if I were still in Mala refugee camp. I can't imagine myself not be in school because education is very important to me and I want to continue to learn as long as I live. However, if I were still in a refugee camp, I would have had only a high school diploma. I would not have had access to higher education because my parents would not be able to pay for my college tuition. Or maybe I would not be interested in getting higher education because I didn't actually like the way the school system set up in the camp. The education system is completely different from here in the US. Students were asked to memorize a long paragraph of the reading or a poem. Therefore, I feel like the school system focuses on memorization, not critical thinking.
And the worst part about the school system in the camp was teachers could physically punish students. And I was in fact punished a few times. I have also wondered what my career would be if I were still in the camp. I honestly cannot think of any, because there are few decent jobs available in the camp. And because of this, people have been dependent on food assistance provided by the United Nations. And recently, this food assistance has been stopped as a way to encourage people to move back to Burma. Currently, people are struggling to live, and if I were still living in the camp, my situation would not have been any different. I came to the United States with my family in 2008, and I was 11 and a half years old. The first school I attended was bird school in Hartford. In the beginning, I was having difficulty making new friends because of the language barrier. I was provided with an ESL teacher, but I met her only once or twice a week. One thing that I liked about bird school was I was the only Korean in my class, and therefore I had to force myself to learn English so I can talk to other students and make new friends. In a way, it was a great thing. However, I did not receive as much support as I needed until I transferred to West Middle School in Asylum Hill. At West Middle School, I received a lot of help from my ESL teacher, Ms. Kovaci. She sacrificed her time to help me and other students who needed additional English language support to develop our reading, writing, and speaking skills. Ms. Kovaci had us go to school early in the morning to get extra help. She did not get paid for the morning lessons that she provided to us. However, she was always there because she wanted her students to improve and succeed. I graduated from West Middle School in 2011, and I graduated from University High School of Science and Engineering in 2015. From both schools, I have met people who supported and motivated me to pursue higher education. I looked up to my friends who are very hardworking students. I took courses such as ECE, US History, Calculus, Anatomy and Physiology in high school to challenge myself. And I love challenging myself because it allows me to see my strengths as well as the area where I need to improve, such as English. After graduated, I applied to the University of St. Joseph nursing program, and I was not accepted. I was initially not accepted into the nursing program because of my relatively low SAT scores. In my first year and a half at the University of St. Joseph, I was majoring in public health. And while majoring in public health, I took prerequisite courses for nursing. And after 3 semesters, I have a 3.75 GPA. Then I applied to the pre-nursing program and I was accepted. And after I successfully completed all my prerequisite courses and the foundations of professional nursing, I was finally accepted into the nursing program. So I have come a very long way to get to where I am now. However, I wouldn't be here without the support from my family, friends, mentors, advisors, teachers, and the organizations that help fund my college tuition and fees. And although my family does not have money to financially support me, I still can go to college and pursue a nursing degree. This is only possible because I have the opportunities to obtain grants, scholarships, and loans. I am grateful to everyone who supports me in pursuing higher education. I am also grateful to this country for providing me with opportunities that I will never have if I were still in a refugee camp. And after I graduate from University of St. Joseph nursing program, I want to work as a cardiac nurse for a few years and then go back to school to obtain a master's degree. And at that point in my life, I will follow whatever opportunities arise and explore the world. Thank you.
She's from Bosnia, a country in Southeast Europe, part of the former Yugoslavia, where you have beautiful handmade chilim. Chilim is a handmade rod. Okay, so you can see that there are some who are in Hartford here, even they are doing some sample, they are selling things. The ladies from Bosnia. So today we are going to have somebody, a beautiful lady in the red dress. Please.
Thank you so much for having me. I don't know where to start. It's a long story, but I guess I have to shorten it to 10 minutes, and I'll try to do that. Is this good? Better? So imagine your life, family and future destroyed by bombs, sounds of explosions, seeing people running, dying, being molested, and at that time, all you have is memory, hope, and faith. At age 6, I lost my father. He was a soldier back home. His death had significant impact on me and my family. It was difficult to live without him, to grow up without him. But I always knew I wanted to make him proud. And I knew that education would be one of those things that he would definitely be proud of. And I was 15 when I moved to the United States. Moving to the United States was difficult. We had nothing other than immigration plastic bag in our hands that had IOM logo on it, which identified International Organization of Migration. And of course we had each other, my family, my two brothers and my mom, who I admire each and every day. And she's definitely my role model. I remember many cultural and society shocks and adjustments I had to make, such as language, as previously mentioned by other speakers, diversity, holidays, different foods. I remember my first experience at the grocery store was very special. Walking into the grocery store in January and seeing apples was just experience of its own. I had to stop and take a moment to actually experience that there's apples in January and they're not just decoration, they're real. Like I mentioned, I thought it was decoration at first, but it wasn't. So of course I bought the apples and that was happiness in my face, as you can see to this day. My first day in school was very anxiety provoking. I was freshman at that time. Imagine walking into the school, high school freshman, with 1,600 plus students without any language knowledge, without any support. Knowing that not only are you first Bosnian girl or person in that school, but you're only Bosnian person in the town itself. And so that was my experience in school. I remember each day, kids would laugh. I thought they were laughing at me. I would hope that and pray that teachers would not ask me a question so I wouldn't have to go through embarrassment of not knowing what the question is and not knowing what to respond. I knew I wasn't dumb, but at that time, that's the only thing that was coming in my, that kind of disability to say. My first few months, I walked around with a big dictionary and a big smile on my face because I was told that if nothing more than nothing else and nothing more, I had to have a smile on my face because that's most important in the United States. And I did. As hard as it was, and it was difficult, I was sad half the times, I smiled. And I knew that would just keep me going. I also spent a lot in ESL class with a lot of Spanish-speaking population, and I learned Spanish faster than English, believe it or not. So now I speak 3 languages, and I'm very glad I do, and I'm glad that everything happened in the way that everything has its reason, I guess. I graduated high school and started nursing school. However, shortly after, I realized nursing was not for me. So I transferred to psychology major. Based on my life experience and struggles, stressors I had, I knew that I was still in this world to make a difference and to be a helping hand to others. I thought of my own childhood and how I wish I had someone there that could support me emotionally and just be there as a mentor, or someone that could listen to me and guide me, support me. Any help would be appreciated. I decided to continue my education in psychology and finally graduated with master's in professional mental health counseling, clinical track. Today I'm blessed to be able to work with individuals in battling with addiction and art and recovery, and I love what I do. And I love to be able to share my story as well as hear other people's stories that create a stronger future. Living in the United States, of course, has been a struggle, but also has been a blessing. Back home wasn't fun. The introduction sounded great, but there's that negative piece to it. The war, the struggles, the corruption, and everything else that most of us had to escape. Like I said, living in the United States hasn't been easy, but along with family, I have managed many other refugees. I have managed to accomplish a lot of my goals that I had. I got married here. I gave birth to two of my greatest accomplishments. I have 2 kids, 11-year-old and 6-year-old daughter. I graduated from school in 2016. This means a lot to me and my family, as this was not a chance and nowhere close to be an opportunity back home. It gives me power to continue pushing, to share my experience with others, to keep learning. Among many other things that I have lost, I have gained, and I've learned how to appreciate, love, and inspire others just as I was inspired by many, many people here in the States to say, they're my strangers, but at the time, like I shared recently with one of the speakers, I had people draw for me, and that was the way to communicate. And I'm very, very thankful and glad that there is people that still believe in help and are willing to support and help others. So it's not an easy, but it's possible. Thank you.
Thank you so much. What a nice time.
Okay, we are going to another country. In our journey, in our way, we are going to Iraq. Hamid Hamza from Iraq, a country in the Middle East with historical sites. You have to discover it. We talk about Iraq, many things, but they have nice historical sites, nice things from the Bible, nice monuments. I was amazed. But also a place of war since some years now. This is why some of his children have to get out of that country. Please welcome Mr. Hamid.
Thank you so much for everybody coming today. I have started. My name is Ahmed. I'm married. I have 3 beautiful kids. 1 boy, 2 girls, and my whole life depended had by war, like from 1982 until I come to America. Whole my life is war. I was in Iraq and lived. When I born, I lived my father. I didn't see him, never in my life. Then when I come into the war, when I start like, sorry. When I work, I'm so a little bit confused. when I came into the world, it's so hard. I live without my father. Just I have 8 brothers, 1 sister, and this is so hard for us to live in Iraq. Was the war 8 years from 1980 until 1988. All this war, and then when started the war in 1991, then the war, other war 1982 until 2013. After we start the civil war in my country, I try to leave my country because it's so hard, so dangerous to my life. I travel in Syria. I live in Syria like many couple months. I can't live like you have. I miss all my family. I have tried to come back to my family to see my family. And that time, I see my wife in the border between Iraq and Syria. She also, somebody killed her brother, and it was so hard. She cried in the border, nobody allowed her to come to Syria. And since the time, I now allowed to me come back to my country. We're sitting in the board, we talk with each other. That's why I took her with me to the Syria, and we start our life there. All my kids born in the Syria, especially like in the Syria, it was they're not allowed everybody to work there. You have to work like in yourself, like you have to make some like in your own job, like some like project to your own. We start working and make ourselves there, but unfortunately started the war also in Syria in 2011. Before that, we applied for the refugees like 2005 until 2010. Then accepted my case to be refugees. After that, I waited like until 2013. I'm saw everything in Syria. The war there. Then the UN called us. You have to leave Syria because it's so dangerous for us. Because my wife 2 times tried to then kill her. Then we traveled to the Jordan. Also the Jordan, they're not allowed anybody to work there. This is so hard. And after 1 year in Jordan, I came to America. This was dream for everybody. Like 10 years from 2005 until 2014 is a long time. Just I waiting with them to call me. Please, like it was so hard for us and to my family, especially like from country to other country. Then different school, different language, different habit, but we say no problem. Just we have to hold for future, not for like for us. After we come to America, we come here like August 2014. It was so hard for us, like for my kids, for my wife. It's different language, different religion, different tradition, culture. Everything is different or hard for us. And I remember first day like first week when my kids go to school, my wife, she was crying because my kids, he don't understand everything for everybody when them speak with them. I don't know what we have to do with my kids. So hard. So your kids go to the school, the teacher talk to them, they don't understand anything, and we have to talk with them. What do we have to do? Because it's hard for everybody. To see his kids in front of you, he don't understand everything, and everything is hard for them. And when I came in first time, like in America, first week, they applied to me to work. You have to work. Okay, first week I start working. He said you have to prove your language, and I had no speak English. He said you have to work to learn English, but unfortunately when I start working I'm working laundry, all the people speak is Spanish, no speak English. What I have to do? Okay, I have to keep with them. I work almost 1 year. Then I start driver with the laundry. I improved a little bit because all the drivers speak English. When I go to the hospital speaking English, I try a little bit improve my language. At that time, I was looking for some school to improve our language, and I have to help my family. After that, I found a job at night, and I have to make a little bit space to I have to learn in the morning shift. I'm starting in the morning, I have to go to the school, and at night I have to go to work. After 3 years, after 6 months, my kids start like this. They speak English a little bit better and everything else. So my family a little bit is like connect with the community here. It's a different community, but we have to work with it. After like 3 years, I get we start like I have a car, I have license, I have everything is coming. The life here in Europe is easier. Then until I buy a house, and we move for another city. My kids is now professional. My boys in 3rd grade, my daughter 1st grade, and the other one in the kindergarten. All my kids, like I saw him in the line. We have some habit here when we come in here, like so hard to my kids. Everything is different for them, but right now is everything easier for them and for me also. I'm start learning no learn English, but I'm start with the GED. And my wife also, she start with the college studies. She want to become a math teacher. And right now I'm work so hard, but no problem. Just for my kids, I have to work for everybody. We are here refugees, but we are human. Everybody has history. Everybody has culture. Everybody we will keep all that because we have to work hard. If you want to prove yourself, you have to work hard. And now I'm work I have a little bit hard time to work here every day. I have to drop my kids in the morning. I have them come back. I go to the school. When I come from the school, I have to go to fix it a little bit in my house because my house is a small house, beautiful house, but to need some fix it. I know I'm trying to bring somebody to fix it. I'm trying to fix it myself. After when I finish my 3 o'clock, I have to leave. I have to go to my job, and I will come back about 3 o'clock at night. It's so hard for me, but no problem. I have to prove myself, and I have to help my family. I want to give it to them what I lost when I kids. Because everybody everybody knows when somebody he lost his father, it's so hard. I didn't see anything when I was kids. I know feeling anything about what the father he given to the kids. It's so hard, but I try to do the best to my kids. And everybody here I saw in America. Thank you for America. Thank you for America because they help refugees here. He made for me big dream. It was a dream for everybody to come into America, especially with me. I don't know, with me, 10 years I was the dream, like something happened. When they called me, I don't know, I spoke with my wife. I was serious, please find me. And they told me I will go to America. I'm not believing it. Was so dream for us. Thank you for everybody. I saw a lot of people here in the school, or however I went to the library, here in the museum. I saw a lot of people. Then just help the refugees to prove themselves. Thank you for everybody here because I'm here today. But a little bit I miss my mother, my father, everybody there. But what I have to do, this is the life. You have to work with the life until you figure out your goal. I get my goal right now. I arrived to America. I have a house. I have a car, and everything I saw. We are in the truck, but I miss my father and all my mother and my brothers because all of them in Iraq, and you know the situation there is so hard to live there, but not everybody can do that. Thank you for everybody and have a good night.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. One thing in common with all the immigrants and the refugees that are coming is their resilience. They are fighting. They are fighters of life. They are trying to improve better than life. We are going to the next speaker, IT Rai from Bhutan, Nepal. With humble and friendly people in that country, when you meet them, you have the opportunity to talk with them, you see humility in them. And also, it's a country with oriental culture, beautiful nature, also with religious misunderstanding and war. So please, we are going to welcome IT Rai. Thank you.
Given this condition, you might think that I was miserable. But as a child, All I could think of was having fun with friends. Mud, stick, gravels were our friends, our toys. Planes were magic to us. They would occasionally fly high above the refugee camp. I and my friend would look up to the sky with laughter and enjoyment, trying to talk to the plane to take us to the different world. Not only us, not only the children, but all the people in the camp used to look up to the sky with smiles on their faces. One of the traditions we had as the children was taking shower in the rain. The most fun part of it was running from house to house, getting the water from the edges of roofs, and it was waterfall to us. And I also had a dream to become a wakil, which means lawyer in English. Along with this all fun that I had, I also experienced scarcity. I was in fear. The fear is not about being robbed or being killed, but I was in fear of not having enough food for a week, for the day. I still remember those days where I slept half, sometimes empty stomach. I still remember those days where I asked my parents to buy the biscuits which my parents could not afford. And I also faced discrimination. Discriminations based on my status, discrimination based on the community I was living in, the discrimination based on my caste, my last name. And I remember those days where I pretend that I'm not hearing when I was called beggars by some villagers sounded the camp. And all this made me to search for the meaning of justice and made me deeply think about justice. So as I was growing older, I discovered that my parents' history. I discovered that I was a refugee, and I discovered that refugees' dreams are invisible to the world. I discovered that my dream, the dream of becoming a lawyer, it was no different than a caged bird, pains, and desire to be free. And this all makes sense to me, because how could I dream of a better future when I was living in a hut made of bamboo and thatch? How could I dream of becoming a lawyer when that camp was all I had seen? How could I dream of a better future when there was nothing to claim as mine? Then my dream from becoming lawyer came down to this small dream, the dream to get married and to have my own family and live my life as my parents did, because that's the only possible dream I could have in the camp. However, things changed. When the International Organization for Migration came into the camp, and they told all refugees that there would be better life if we choose the third country resettlement. At the beginning, nobody believed it. How could they? When they lived in the camp for 20 years. It was hard to believe it. My parents did not believe it. The whole my community did not believe it. But out of nowhere, my brother decided to come to the United States. At the beginning, my parents refused, but they had no choice but let him. So he came here in 2009 and told back to my parents that it is actually true that we could live a better life. So I, along with my parents, came here in the summer of 2011. You might think it was the happiest moment for me, but surprisingly it wasn't. It was a mix of everything, mix of happiness, sadness, uncertainties, all things. It wasn't easy for me leaving that camp, that my home, that my birthplace. It wasn't easy for me leaving my childhood friends behind, not knowing whether I meet them again or not. It wasn't easy for me coming here as a teenager at age of 16 and trying to learn different language, trying to adjust in different culture, and trying to make a new friends. It wasn't easy for me. I still remember reading the two books in high school, To Kill the Mockingbirds and The Lord of the Flies. I still remember the struggle to understand the content of those books. It did not discourage me, but encouraged me to start to read more books. So I began with the children's book. And after graduating from high school, I attended community college, where I realized that I wasn't ready for college. I wasn't ready for higher educations. This time, I wasn't hopeless, but frustrated. I was frustrated with our education system in the United States, especially when you are from the community where most of the peoples are from low income. I realized that our school systems doesn't help the students from poor neighborhoods to lift them up from the poverty. I realized that they made us to believe, who are from the poor neighborhoods, that community college is only appropriate place for you. And then this all made me to come to the understanding that American dream is not easy to achieve. The American dream that people think of is not there anymore. You have to go outside of your comfort zone, outside of your area in order to achieve that. Now I'm at the Western University. My struggle is not ended there yet. I'm still struggling. I have so many difficulties to overcome still, including the cultures, American culture, but I'm not giving up. The reasons I'm not giving up, the reasons I'm keep moving forward today are because I have a dream for me and for my family. I have a dream to be a voice of my community, of those unheard people. I have so many people behind my success. I have so many invisible hands behind my success who are helping me to achieve my dream. And because of the International Organization for Migrations, who gave me the hope of a better future, who made me to believe that I also deserve a better future. So you may not, or maybe the first generations come to the United States, but even though you were not, I'm sure that one of the persons in your family came here, who came here carrying the American dream. So I am here with my family. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful to discover. We are going to discover something different now. We've talked a lot. Let's dance. Let's enjoy. We are going to enjoy and dance with somebody coming from Nepal, Bhutanese. And I told you when I was presenting Leila that they are in the Oriental education. When you talk about Oriental, you talk about India. So we are going to enjoy a dance. Please welcome Sonia with a beautiful smile, with the red colors that they like wearing. The floor is yours. Thank you so much. It's amazing how rich is American culture now with that diversity. After taking a brief with some music, we're going to listen to our speakers. We are going to Mother Africa with Solomon Fisher from Ethiopia, a country in East Africa, the only country in Africa that was not colonized, and also the birthplace of coffee that you like drinking. Please welcome Solomon.
Thank you. First, I would like to thank my friend Lynn Williamson for inviting me to deliver my speech and for always being there when I needed help in making America my new home. This is my first time to speak in front of a large group of people since I came to the United States of America. And this makes me to feel like I am more embraced, accepted, and socialized in my community. It's like taking a teaspoon of water from the ocean to tell a story of an immigrant in 10 minutes time. But today, shortly, I'm going to talk about how I got here, some of the challenges I faced, and finally, I will talk about some of my accomplishments. How often do you go to a gas station or a store to buy a lottery ticket? I bet many people play lotto every week, if not every day, hoping that one day their name would be registered in the list of millionaires. In my life, I tried a lottery only once, and I won. Each year, the United States Immigration and Citizenship Services receives and processes about 6 million immigration applications from around the globe. And I was one of the applicants of the 6 million people and among the 50,000 winners of the diversity visa lottery in 2010. Luckily, unlike many African immigrants who cross 3 to 4 countries in the Sahara Desert on foot and who spend months on the smugglers' ships and boats without food and water to make it to Europe and America, my travel was safe 20-hour flight on plane directly from my capital Addis Ababa to JFK. The reason why I ended up in Connecticut is because my best friend from back home was living in Hartford 5 years before I came. The first 2 months of my arrival were fun and full of excitement. I was watching a lot of movies, news and entertainment TV channels. Besides that, my friend and I were spending a lot of time talking about our old memories of back home. However, as the time went by, I had to search for any kind of job to support myself. Unfortunately, the job search was not successful. I had to wait about 10 months before getting any job. All of our expenses and bills were on my friend's shoulders. He was a taxi driver and a student at that time, but a good nurse now. That was a very tough time. There were times I regretted my decision and even I was about to go back home. Only the advice of my friend were forced me to change my mind. When I came here, I already had my degree in teaching physics in high school and I was a high school teacher. And it was very disturbing to give up that lovely profession of mine, which I had been doing since I was 24 years old, with passion and love. My everyday dream was, how can I get it back? How can I stand in front of my students and talk about physics and mathematics again? But it was not easy. Sometimes I used to feel like my dreams evaporated like a morning dew, and everything seemed like I was pushing a mountain. After a desperate job search, life had put me to my first job, McDonald's. The one one-time Ethiopian high school teacher is now a French fryer and a burger cooker, with additional tasks mopping the whole lobby every day, cleaning extremely large size windows in and out in that freezing cold weather, cleaning the bathrooms and unclog them when some people misuse them. That was the real welcome to America. Maybe for someone with different experience who was born and raised here, that could be an easy job. But for me, that was the toughest job in the world. Besides the toughness of the job, the language barrier was painful. Even though I know the words, concepts, principles, and calculations in my discipline, I never ever heard the words used in McDonald's, including all the names of the foods and sauces. I had never been in that kind of fast-paced environment at all. To be honest, I don't know most of the names of McDonald's foods even now. And it was the communication skill that was making things very complicated. And sometimes it makes you look down to others. Many people are prejudiced. If you are an immigrant and if you ask the word what twice, you are judged as the most ignorant person in the world. Nobody wants to understand you. Man, this guy can do anything. Oh my gosh. Damn, why do you bring me honey mustard dressing when I ask you to bring me ranch dressing? You don't understand? Were some of the discouraging words I heard, but I used them as a springboard to jump to my next level. After staying a couple months, I found a warehouse job with relatively higher pay and less confusing environment, but still it was a back-breaking job. Once you work 8 hours in that warehouse, it's like taking knockout sleeping pills. The warehouse was very freezing, and for someone like me, who came from 12 months of sunshine country, it was hell. Besides that, all the swears, cursing, and F words that was entertained in the warehouse were very disgusting and shocking to me. While I was doing all this, one thing was always in my heart: the hope to teach again in this land, the hope to be a good citizen and a good teacher as I used to be in back home again. I knew that all that was part of the journey towards my destination. I was always praying and working hard to make my dream of teaching again make it real. After I worked some time, in the warehouse, I got a promotion to be a team leader and later a supervisor. That came with better pay and benefits. But still, the promotion, appreciation, and Hall of Fame certificates didn't have the power to convince me to stay there. One Tuesday morning, I called out sick, and I decided to go to a community college near me to see if I can find any information that would help to pave my future road. My prediction was right, and once again, I proved that information is power. I learned for the first time that I can send all my educational documents to an agency called the World Education Services that evaluates and translates the foreign credentials to the United States credentials. Besides sending my documents to be evaluated, I started English class to improve my English skills, realizing that that was the only obstacle from doing what I want to do. Capital Community College gave me an opportunity to know more about things around me, helped me to make more friends and share information. Above all, that was the environment I missed for a long time and something that I was striving for. Semesters went by, I did my English class and my warehouse job side by side. Then my degree was accepted as equivalent with the United States degree, which means then I could apply for further education, and that was the cornerstone to start my journey for my old job. I discovered the Academic Success Center at the Capital Community College that helps students, and with my equivalent degree, I became hired as a tutor, working less hours but equivalent pay as my warehouse job. That day will be remembered among one of the happiest moments in my life. I loved my tutoring job very much. I realized that I am very close to my goal, and that was the time to drop my warehouse job and start working on my future. I kept tutoring the college students and also prepared myself for the 4 different exams for the Connecticut teaching license in public schools, which was my focus. Eventually, I passed all the 4 requirement exams and got my license in teaching physics in public schools. My next step was applying to teach in public schools. However, at the same time, one opportunity popped up at the college. Because the long-standing physics teacher had to move somewhere, there was immediate need of physics teacher. And that was a good news to me, at least to try. I tried, and I got it. For the first time, after 4.5 years of separation, I reunited again with my teaching, standing in front of my students in Capital Community College classroom. I proved that again I am not dumb like the McDonald's guy treated me. I love my students very much. I love my job. My class is fun. Teaching diversified students of America is really fun. I don't want to do anything else but to teach. Right now, I am focused on continuing my education by getting my master's degree, and my college job gives me flexibility to do this. I have already finished 1 year, and I have 2 semesters to go to graduate from the Central Connecticut State University in different degree, which is mathematics. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel. A great achievement. And again, a religion from the Nichols, who came and started life in the US. Now we are going to fly in colors again. Cleroma Cain from Saint Lucia, a very beautiful island in the Atlantic Ocean with a lot of sunshine, beach, music, and dance. So please welcome Lady Cleroma.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for having me. I was born and raised on the beautiful island of St. Lucia, where culture was a big part of growing up. So therefore, we were introduced to dance at an early age, which is where my love for dance began. With my passion for dance, I became a member of the Silver Shadow Performing Arts Academy at the age of 13 years old. I walked into this organization and never looked back. It became my home away from home. Throughout the toughest years of my life, dance became my therapy, an outlet where I can express myself and be creative, and most importantly, to feel alive. With time, hard work, and determination, I eventually became a principal dancer and dance captain. I was unstoppable then. Dance became my whole life, my salvation. I ate, lived, and breathed dance, and the opportunities became endless. I started working with the youth. I started traveling. I traveled for the first time through dance to actually perform. I was able to travel to perform regionally and internationally, going as far as Venezuela, which was a very memorable time in my dance career because I was able to participate in this World 16th Youth and Student Conference in Venezuela, in Caracas, and that was a big milestone for me, starting off as a brand new dancer. I was also given the opportunity to work as an entertainment coordinator at Sandals Resorts in St. Lucia, one of the leading resorts on the island. students with learning disabilities, and that is an opportunity I will forever cherish, because teaching deaf students and children with learning disabilities to dance is a very difficult task, and one has to have a lot of patience and time and love to do that. And I was able to accomplish that, and that is also something I am proud of, and that's because of dance. While teaching those dance students, while I was able to teach them, I grew and I learned. I even at that point learned to sign, and that was something I never imagined I would be able to do. Then when an unhealthy relationship escalated, I decided to walk away, leaving everything behind in St. Lucia and seeking a new life in the U.S. I literally ran away from home, as I would tell anyone, and I have no problem with saying it. I ran away from home. Upon moving into the U.S., I stayed in Brooklyn, New York for 3 months, where it was a struggle. And just when I was about to give up, my brother said, "Come to Connecticut, try again." I was hesitant, but I did. And when I moved, this is where I met my husband, got my green card, and he gave me a new reason to love and to pursue my dreams. And so my journey began. My love for dance was reignited by the Island Reflections Dance Theater Company for 2 years, where I also became a principal dancer and had the pleasure of performing at the Bushnell with the Boto Obama team in 2014. In August 2015, I was given the opportunity by the Connecticut International Cultural Connection Association, along with the Connecticut Historical Society, where Lynn Williamson comes into play, to work as an instructor and choreographer at the yearly summer program and to share my culture with many schools through knowledge and art, creating this. We taught them how to design, how to come up with themes, how to express themselves, and also how to build a costume from scratch. And that is also amazing, because I'm able to give back what I learned growing up. I became a role model to my students, and dealing with teenagers is difficult, but I overcame it because I had the patience and the love for it. And when you deal with students who come from all different backgrounds, and at the end of a program to hear your students say, "What I learned today, I learned to smile," and that's an accomplishment. I also made it to the front page of the Hartford West Indian Parade and the Waterbury International Festival magazines. Isn't that amazing? In March 2017, I received my LPN license, which is a stepping stone to becoming an RN, and most importantly, to becoming an APRN sometime in the future. My journey wasn't easy, but after the storm came the calm. I've had the opportunity to work with many amazing people, both professionally and socially. And as I continue my journey, I will continue to work hard, give back, at being a great caregiver, advocate, and educator, while remaining humble as I can be, and be thankful for every opportunity and for every door that is open to me, because behind every door is either an opportunity to grow or an opportunity to learn. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Beautiful flying colors. Now, we're coming to South America. Adam Romo from Mexico, South of America, and that country that we have, I remember when I was a child, Western films. You know, we saw people, chancho, with a big heart. And that big heart is Asombroto. And also the country of tacos. You are welcome,
Mr. Adam.
Good evening. I want to first thank Lynn Williamson for having me here today and the Connecticut Historical Society. My name is Adam Romo, and my family came to Arizona a few generations ago from Mexico. When I was in the first grade, I began taking trumpet lessons being offered at my elementary school in Tucson. Every day, before and after school, I rehearsed outside a portable with my music teacher's son, Rudy. Learning trumpet was tough, but I enjoyed the challenge. After 6 months of training, Rudy started teaching me Mexican songs. When I would practice at home, my grandmother would listen to me, and she would sing along and hum the melodies. As I progressed, she gave me a cassette of Mariachi Vargas, which is considered the world's greatest mariachi. It was then that I learned that the music I had been playing was mariachi music. Mariachi is a distinctive version of Spanish orchestra with violins, harp, guitar, which developed in and around the Mexican state of Jalisco. The trumpet was later added, though it was controversial, to enhance the sound of the ensemble. During the early part of the golden age in Mexico of cinema, the mariachis were being used to record albums and record in the live motion pictures. And so the sound engineers, when they would record the mariachi, had issues hearing the violins. The microphones weren't strong at that time. So they decided to bring in a cornet player. So the cornet player, which is a trumpet now, would play along and learned all the melodies, and all of a sudden you could hear the mariachi through the recordings. So once these recordings were released, mariachis added the trumpet or cornet as a way to energize the ensemble sound. Many clients didn't like this change, and when the mariachi would perform at parties, they would ask the cornet player to stay outside while the mariachi performed. Today, mariachi music is known for its vibrant trumpet sound and vibrato, and a group is usually judged on the quality of its trumpet player. I love mariachi music because it reinforces and transmits our culture by celebrating our rich Mexican language, culture, custom, and family. As the lyrics of mariachi songs tell us of our ancestors' love of earth, our hometowns, native lands, religion, and the strength of the country. Mariachi music is popular in many places around the world where it has been introduced by Mexican immigrants and also artists such as Linda Ronstadt. At 17, I emigrated to Orlando, Florida to play with Mariachi Pobre, a performing ensemble at Epcot Center in Walt Disney World that introduces mariachi music to thousands of people daily. After months of playing and learning from these sensational musicians, who are all icons and legends in the mariachi genre, I realized what I had not learned and been exposed to as a young musician. I decided to leave Orlando and return to Arizona, where I could work with my fellow mariachis of my age and also for the future generations to teach them about the music and what was missing from my youth. So with my newfound knowledge, I began looking for opportunities to teach mariachi, whether in Arizona or other places. Well, I'm sorry, got lost here. So after that I went to Nevada, and when I was in Nevada, I moved to Nevada because there was a booming population of Hispanics that were moving to Nevada from California and from Mexico. And so I decided to move to Nevada and be a part of the building of culture and enhancing the experience for a lot of immigrants who had lost their culture by moving there. Nevada, as you know, is the home of Las Vegas, Sin City, casinos. And so, but beyond the casinos, there's a city, and there's people, and there's communities. And so it was a great honor to be a part of that and helping grow a mariachi program there, which now exceeds, I believe, over 10,000 students that are taking mariachi classes in the school district. While I was in Las Vegas, I co-organized a mariachi with a former student, and this group, we would travel all over the United States. We traveled to Arizona, to California, to Texas, and we really immersed ourselves in the music and also performing with other mariachi groups. That group is Mariachi Mexico Antiguo. If you've heard of them, we moved here a couple of years ago, and that's the name of the mariachi group that started. All the members are talented, extremely talented, but they had different reasons for getting involved in mariachi. One started playing mariachi as a job to support his parents, his mother, and his siblings at the age of 14. Some of the members joined a guitar class in high school thinking it was going to be rock and roll, and it ended up being mariachi music. And they ended up staying with the program. Some joined to get away from gangs and other negative influences, but most, including myself, sought to belong to something they enjoyed. The group has excelled tremendously, and it's helped take us all out of barrios and bad situations and bring us to a place where we could be a family. In 2009, I taught an educator's workshop at the Music Educators National Conference in Virginia, at the headquarters. It was there that I met Evangeline Mendoza, a music teacher who was also from Arizona, but now resided in Wallingford, Connecticut. We immediately connected, and I appreciated her interest and passion for mariachi music. It was because of this experience that Evangeline and countless other educators returned to their home states to build mariachi programs. In 2014, Evangeline asked if I would give a workshop for her students at the Connecticut Music School. I decided to take 3 members of Mariachi Mexico Antiguo along to help relate the music to students their age. The workshops were a tremendous success, and we were invited back in 2015. Then Evangeline asked us to move to Connecticut and take over her school when she retired. We decided to accept her offer, and immediately 4 of our members quit because of the immense need to really commit to what we were doing. Over the next couple of years, we started saving money in Las Vegas, holding fundraisers, saving money for performances, and we just continued to save and save so we could make the big move to come to Connecticut. Others dropped off, and finally, we moved here during the summer of 2016. 11 of us moved here. We've been here for 20 months now. And we've established 5 additional mariachi schools, music academies, in Connecticut, and we teach almost 200 students guitar, violin, trumpet, harp, and singing. We also give many performances, participate in religious celebrations, and it's a very fun experience. Just in the last year, Mariachi Mexico Antiguo received 2 recognitions as the best mariachi in the tri-state area and best mariachi in the East Coast. The move wasn't easy and continues to be a struggle that only as a group we can and will overcome. Many of our members have day jobs, others work in the school districts, and most members are applying for universities and colleges to continue music education. Living with people you have never spent more than a weekend with is challenging. It has made us all better individuals and a more cohesive group. Being in a new place can be scary, but we have been blessed to meet some wonderful people such as Lynn Williamson, Lisa Berlinger, and many others who have helped us travel the state, meet new people, experience the New England lifestyle, and set reasonable expectations for our future. In Nevada and in the West Coast, we were an accomplished group. We had performed with Mariachi Vargas, Jose Hernandez and his Mariachi Sol de Mexico, Chuy Guzman and members of Los Camperos, and we also accompanied artists such as Beatriz Adriana, Graciela Beltran, and Placido Domingo. In Connecticut, we are newcomers, and though it is challenging to accomplish so much only to start over, it makes the experience that much more memorable and exciting. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And we are going to travel again. We continue our journey. A journey in the unknown. A journey where we are going to discover. I'm going to present my country, Côte d'Ivoire, known as Ivory Coast also, in West Africa. A country where we have the biggest Catholic basilica of the world. Yes, it's in Yamoussoukro, in the middle of our country. The country that is the second producer of coffee in the world. The country that is the third producer of cocoa that you use to do chocolates in the world. A country that had a war situation because of, we did an election and we have 2 presidents. And the civil society, where I have a voice, decided to do a recount of the votes. But UN, France, and America said no. So we were having 2 presidents, the army was divided, and a war came. 3,000 people died. And we, the civil society, were talking. The rebellion that was created by French army was looking to kill us because we were talking too much. So I have to left my country and to be in another country, in Ghana for 2 years before coming to the US. You have the rest in the book for my story. So now I'm going to talk about my topic. The music is a part of the life of an African. And the reading, I'm calling. My history started a long time ago. My family is a family that travel a lot. My great-grandfather, coming from a royal family, came to the US in the late 19-something, 18-something, and married the grandchild of Sally Hagan. For those who know American history, Sally Hagan was the mistress, the black wife of Thomas Jefferson. And he went with her back to Africa to discover her roots. My father came to the United States in 1956 and stayed for 4 years to do his engineering studies in the US and went back to Africa. He traveled a lot in his life. Me also, I have the opportunity, as you can see in my bio, to travel a lot. As a former diplomat in the cultural field, I went to France, Italy, Germany, Switzerland. I spent, I think, 10 different countries in Africa. I discovered Haiti. I even went to Japan for a conference. So I've seen a lot. In my family, we have every color of skin that we see in America. My big brother married a lady from France. My uncle is married to a Chinese lady, a Vietnamese lady. My father was having a girlfriend from India. This is my family. And because of the war situation that I told you, I came to US. Because I couldn't more stay in my country. And I was having also a health issue, for those who knows. So I needed to have a better care. And the UN offered me an opportunity to come to the US, to resettle in the US. And I came here in Africa directly, meet great people. I create a new family here, having a big brothers, big sisters. Some even became my moms here, taking care of me, advising me, holding my hand, showing me the way. And I was able to start my journey in the US. But what was striking for me was not the buildings. I saw it many times. I visited the biggest museum of the world. It was not the road. It was not the cars. It was not even the people. Because they are friendly, they are like my brother and sister. But what shocked me was the cultural aspect, the social aspect. It was the first time in my life that I have to write on the paper that I'm black. Yes. Black. It was like a knife in my heart. I know that I was a human being. I know that I have the same blood that's going in my veins like everyone. I know that I'm an intellectual. I know that I'm an artist. I never knew that I was black until I came to the US. And I had to fill on the paper, what is my color? Caucasian, Spanish, Haitian, or black. I asked myself, what is this country? What kind of country? Where they say there's diversity that make America who America is. And still they are talking about colors of skin. And it's in the Irving administration papers. You ask them, they will tell you, no, it's just to see how much people or things, it's not compulsory. You can ask or not, but they are waiting for you to put your color. And I've learned also, this is what they call the invisible elephants in the room. That is there, nobody wants to talk about. But if you don't talk about, how can you continue to solve it? Second thing that shocked me was the women. My wife that I love, and I'm pushing her before coming here, she has a master's degree in public relations, got in Great Britain. She came here, and she has to, like every refugee that is coming from outside, she has to go back to school. So she's going back to school, and she's making the effort to have AIDS all the time. It's the first story. She's at Godwin College in the last year, doing business and management. I love my wife. With all the effort that she's doing, I've knew that here in the US, she should not have the same salary, same pay as a fellow man who is in the same class with her when she gets out to the market. She's not going to be paid the same salary, wages. How crazy is that? In Africa, where I'm coming from, I have friends who have the same masters I have. We're having the same salary. When they are pregnant, they have 3 months after their pregnancy, they give birth. The men, they give us 1 week to be with the family. But US here, it's now that they are fighting to give time to the one woman, because most of the time, after a week, she's going back to job. If it's not that, she's not going to have a salary. What country is it? What country is it? Do you feel that we are the first in the world? No. I think that is no. Because even in my small country, in West Africa, Cote d'Ivoire, in that bush, we give right to the women. And for those who learn history of Africa, the kings, before 15-something, to choose a king, it's not the men who choose. The men will choose 3 people. And in the 3, we have what we call the women side, led by one who is the king mother, who is going to choose one between the 3 as the king. So we give the right to the woman. Now America, they are fighting for the right of the woman. You have to learn from us. Yes. Education. I was amazed when somebody told me that I'm the first in my generation to go to the university. I look at him, I say, what is that? You are the first. What are you saying? He said, no, my grandfather, my father, and nobody went to the university. I'm going to be the first. And I've learned also that there's many people like that who are the first people in their generation to go to the university. I say, my God. In my country, this is 1960. Because everybody, even the government, what we did was great after our independence. We wanted the government to pay for the university for the people, so that each person have the opportunity of further education. Because we know that it's through education that you can be somebody. But the US here, they have the money to do war in people's country, saying that they are going to put diplomacy there. Look at Iraq. Look at Libya. Just those two countries. How many money was spent? For which reason? But you can't take care of your own children in the university. You can't pay for their own school fees. If you are not rich, you can't further your education. Unless you are coming from a minority people, and because you are very good, you get a scholarship. No. What kind of America we have? I understand why my grandparents came to the US and went back to Africa. I understand why my father came to the US and after studies went back to Africa. And I know why after 10 or 15 years, I will go back to Africa to give back what I learned here. To tell them that be proud of where you are coming from, because there's nothing more than your motherland. Thank you. Now we are going to have the closing, a dance with beautiful ladies, beautiful mothers who are going to present you from the dance and singing. They were in the refugee camp also. But like I said in the starting, the only thing that can push them, the only thing that vibrate them, because they didn't have TV, they didn't have cell phone there, is sitting down and singing in group. That little of joy, that little joy that they will have will take them through the week. So when they came to US here, they tried to come together and try to embrace that culture that they have there. Because the only thing that can keep them, that can bond them in the US here, is to still be in touch with their culture. So through that group, they can sing, smile, and remember back home, the golden days, like we used to say. Even if they were poor, but they enjoy their culture. And that culture is the bond with them now. Please welcome our mothers. Just give them some seconds. They are going to. No, this is mine. I don't know. do the closing. Hey. So they have to be ready. Because I don't want them to waste time. Are you ready? Because when they finish, yeah, they're ready. Okay, because I want them to be here so that. Yeah. Yeah. No, no. You have to come already so that it's here. It is here so that when they finish, you go.
Chop.
What are you going to do?
He has the phone.
Okay. So when they finish, yeah.
After he sings, then the women want to do one drum piece. We got like
Five.
we won't let him go too long.
Okay. So their drum, that is when he's going to sing, tell them that they have to be ready for what they want. So that, because after I will talk to him, that I don't want optional things. Me, I'm like that. I want to give them the time to prepare. I'm doing good. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you to our mothers. And now, as we used to say, a good wine left for the end. We started with a good wine, and we are going to end with a wonderful wine. Gentle boy, once again, our good wine.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah. Ooh. Kiukweli najikaza kulia na hali yangu duni, nafsi yangu inanirubuni, eti vya watu kuipa kuliko nikaze buti, ila nafsi yangu yakataa. Sitoficha, napiga kondo moyo wangu, niko sina mikasa ya itawala mwili wangu. Ona ile njaa, najikaza katu mwenzangu, nikilalama eti nipambane na hali yangu. Naona siwezi kurubuni watu, misiwezi liwalona liwe, najuliza vipi nitatimiza ndoto yangu. Lini nitatimiza ndoto yangu. Lini nitatimiza yeah. Kesho yangu sijui, yani ni uadui, roho mbaya na chuki zijengi, na unatafuta kama mimi. Mawazo menizunga mpaka naongea peke yangu, na kesha na muomba Mungu na mimi nipate riziki yangu, japo kidogo nitapata kesho. Mungu ya mangu ipo katika mkono kwa mapito tu. Kisicho riziki mahangaiko, sikati tamaa mpaka mwisho. Penye ni hapana njia, kama ipo tu, napigana tatu sua, mtetezi wangu yupo. Sikati tamaa, napambana. Sikati tamaa, afadhali zeni bado kijana. Ndoto yangu, lini nitatimiza ndoto yeah, ndoto ya, ndoto ya, lini nitatimiza ndo, yeah, 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 yeah. Woo, 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 woo. Ndoto yangu, lini nitatimiza ndoto yangu, ndoto ya, lini nitatimiza ndoto yangu, eh.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. It was a beautiful night, a night of colors, a night of talks, and a night of music. You had the opportunity of seeing what immigrants, refugees, can add to American culture, can add to American life. What is the perspective? Something that I've learned, that diversity make America great. Diversity make America great. We have to learn to accept each other, not colors, but human being, personality. This is America we have. Thank you for this night, and you are all welcome for the next edition. Thank you very much.